Yo, yo, yo. Scare you? Did I scare you? Because honestly, sometimes I scare myself. Listen, we're gonna get into the stream. I gotta grab one thing, 1 second. Okay, I'm gonna grab something real quick, and we'll get into the stream. Uh, Probably won't be the longest stream, just because there's not too much that I felt like talking about. I did come across uh, there was there's a new vendor, I guess is one way to call it, a new salesperson coming around. What's up, Sage? What's up, Mick? How's it going? SVC, Cat Girl, JP Jeffries, Something Fishy, Alaska to Platypus. How's it going? See you in the pre-chat. I kind of ignore some things until enough people talk to me about it that I'm like, I guess I want to talk about this. So this particular page, I had seen them making some claims, making some websites, and it wasn't until someone I respected sent it to me and was like, "What do you think about this?" And I was like, "Well, I think it's trash." I was like, "Well, I guess I should take a look at this a little bit more." So we're gonna take a look. Let me just grab one thing real quick. Okay, I'm gonna go grab one thing. I'll be right back, and then we'll get into it. By the way, Johnny Best, how's it going? Give me 2 seconds. All right. Okay. Here I am. He grabbed a pop. What's up? What's up, JP? How's it going? What's up, Alaska? What's up, Big Steve? What's up, Mick? All right, let's get into this, okay? I don't even, honestly, sometimes I put on the headphones, just it helps me lock into the stream. You know what I mean? All right, yapping's commenced. Let's do this. All right, all right, all right. So, I'll be honest, there's a lot of people out here that just they have so much audacity. You almost have to respect it. Now, the age of AI has allowed many people who normally could never get something like this off the ground be able to, in moments, generate entire pages of drivel, just absolute techno babble, valueless content. And of course, because of the nature of AI, most of that stuff is content stolen from other people. You know what I mean? Just repackaged in a way that whatever it originally meant, or if it ever made sense at any point in time, now it definitely does not. Okay. Let me pull up my whiteboard. I'm probably gonna use the whiteboard again if I have to gather my thoughts. What's up, Jesse? Yo, Synodontist, man. Yo, yo, yo. What it is, Nick? What's up? Long time no. Well, I guess it hasn't been that long. That's my bad. All right. So, the story of today is definitely a lot about AI. Okay, AI is one of the main instigators for what we're talking about today, and what we're mainly talking about today, we're talking about grifters. Now, the title is "New Grifter into the Chat?" Question mark. We're gonna find out if they actually are a grifter, because you gotta give them a fair shake, right? What is a grifter to me? Well, I'm gonna look up the word grifter as I always do, and see if I agree. Okay, a person who engages in petty or small-scale swindling. All right, that's one definition. Someone who gets money dishonestly by tricking people. Okay, this kind of all fits, but to me, what I kind of think of when I say grifter is basically an opportunist with bad intentions. All right, this is someone that has they've come into a space like fish keeping or something, and they've seen an opportunity to do one thing. Okay, opportunist. Well, the opportunity that they're seeing is a chance to make some quick cash. All right, because for some reason they think they're dealing with a bunch of fools. Well, might be. Nick said, "How's the Galaris fry? I lost my theme." Oh, damn. I'm very sorry to hear that, Steve. The Galaris are actually doing great. The tank that the camera's on right now is actually in my Galaris fry tank. I'll throw some food in there to see if they show up more real quick. Holy! What's my food? Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright. Put some food in there. We're good to go. Now, I think Bomba said we're talking about 10-gallon tanks. No, we're not talking about 10-gallon tanks. Although I looked at his channel and I gotta be honest. This man, he's going all in on the grift. I'm not gonna lie, he's going all in the grift. I hadn't checked out his channel in a while because we did the one video. I don't really got much else to say. I think all this stuff still applies, but it's even more obvious. Now, unfortunately, these people are right. I think AI in the fish hobby is kind of there's a couple of places that are more uniquely vulnerable to AI. And I think the fish hobby is vulnerable to AI for a couple of reasons. So one, a lot of the information is so bad already, you could just get an AI to make you a script and you'll just read it and people are gonna buy it because all fish videos are already AI quality. Alright, a lot of fish content is people reading top 10 lists, care guides that they didn't write, information that they didn't source. So the AI, when they generate an AI script for fish stuff, that's pretty much the level of work that's gone into a lot of videos that people watch. So honestly, a lot of the AI videos, like, you can kind of tell they're AI, but people already been just reading off of a script of information someone else made when it comes to videos about fish for the most part. So I think that's one thing that makes it kind of uniquely vulnerable about it. The other thing is, I think another thing that makes fish stuff vulnerable to AI is buzzwords. Like, the hobby operates off of so many buzzwords, and AI is really good at just peppering everything up with all the buzzwords you want to hear. Oh, it's gonna thrive. You got an ecosystem, a natural aquarium. Like, it's already buzzwords. You're waiting for the buzzwords you hear. You're like, oh, this person knows what they're talking about fish. Featherfin Films said, what if I made a video on algae eaters, but talk about the biomechanics and how they consume stuff? Well, Featherfin Films, your videos are something that definitely couldn't be replaced by AI. That's a great example because you can tell you put a lot of effort into those scripts, and that's not just stuff that's out there. What's up, TGI Fun Day? How's it going? 6handle343 said a lot of unks in the fish keeping space are in deep AI psychosis. So that's another thing that I think makes the fish space uniquely, or maybe not. Let's not say uniquely, but let's just say is one of the reasons it's vulnerable is it is an older person's hobby. I think this is mostly true. Now, if you go on like TikTok or something, there's tons of young people keeping fish, but I would say the culture of fish keeping is very much, run by its elders. There's a lot of respect for the elders, and a lot of the elder people in the fish keeping hobby know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, the generation most susceptible to AI tends to be older. So I think that this does have a trickle down effect. Featherfin Film says there are also 6,000 old wives' tales in the hobby. Yes. We'll go on buzzwords like anecdotal. It's a hobby built on anecdotes. Now, something being anecdotal, like anecdotal evidence, doesn't actually make it bad, because honestly, a lot of anecdotes in the fish hobby do tend to pan out to be accurate. Like, honestly, like, that's why I like going to the clubs and talking to people who've been keeping fish a lot longer than me, because some of the stuff they just know from doing it does happen to be pretty accurate, even if there isn't a scientific study on it. But, you know, you get the bad with the good. Ross Baltimore said, at what age is one considered an unk? Bro, I don't think it's about age. I think it's about disposition. Because, honestly, you're talking to people that you're going to rely on, what, the Gen Alpha to tell you if you're an unk or not? Come on, they can't even read. It's fine. Bomba says 30. 30 is unk status. Yeah, people will call you an unk as soon as they feel you can get away with it. But if you have I think, a youthful enough spirit, and you just lie about what your age is, you're going to be fine. What's up, Cam Jam? How's it going? All right. So that's just a little bit about AI. Now, I did see a smart person posted a pretty interesting video in the Discord I liked from Brenton's Fish, which I've watched him before. He has a really good video on bagging fish and shipping them, right? And I did see that he did a video on AI slop. AI slop has to stop. All right, I did see this. And one second.
I'm having extremely strong beef with all of these AI fish slop channels. Now, I try to watch the negativity that I bring to this.
Okay, so he's watching his negativity. I'm not watching my negativity. Yo, fuck these lazy people. Let's see, what channel is he's gonna bring up?
Try to watch the. However, short answer. It's an entire another thing when I'm like.
Oh, I love these. Listen, if you ever see a channel with this kind of style of art, what's the one that I like? Aquarium Depot. I think that's one of the main offenders where it's like you just know. Yeah, these videos are all basically AI scripts. If you see anyone like kind of imitating that theory style video where it's like the person with the icon as their face, I almost guarantee that they're doing some kind of AI script. This is the person that they listed the top 5 fish stores, and one of them had gone out of business. And even in the footage they included in the video showed a very clear announcement saying we're out of business. They get a lot of views, they get a lot of attention. It's kind of wild, not gonna lie. It's hard to avoid. So I did see this video by Brenton's Fish.
It's a cave, it's a natural color. And also they have
talking about AI thumbnails, AI fish videos. Alright, so shout out to Brenton's Fish. I'll link this video in the chat. I seen this MF on TikTok. You get so much hate from the better community. That's funny. JP said, elders, fish keepers. I'm 50. I don't know if 50 is enough to be an elder fish keeper. I'm not gonna lie. To me, I don't really see people as old until they're, or starting to get old until they're like in their 60s. But that's because I've seen my dad play racquetball with 70-year-olds that I could never beat unless I actually practiced for a long time. Yeah, I mean, some people do not all age the same. What was interesting in the comment section is a lot of people were kind of pushing back on some of the hate that he was doing with the AI. A lot of people excusing the fact that they're consuming this content, you know, they enjoy it. I think, yeah, the Art Gills, the aquarium guys, the channel he was talking about. And you see, look at the amount of videos he's put out. He's put out a lot of videos.
Monster fish are the only category of pet ownership where the beginner plan is literally...
Oh, man. Okay. Well, anyways. But this is not what I'm talking about. Mixed I almost stopped watching vids of fish and tanks unless I know the channel. For sure. For sure. Well, today we're going to look at impossible aquariums. All right, impossible aquariums. This is someone that probably owes Father Fish a check. I'll be honest. everyone is stealing Lou's style. I know they said Father Fish stole the style from Wallstead. Well, Wallstead has no personality, okay? She can't be the face of a brand. She can't be the face of a movement. It kind of seems like a grouchy person, not gonna lie. Lou, he's kind of got, he's a little bit of the grandfatherly thing going on. He's been a good face for the movement. And now we've reached a point where people are hating on Father Fish, but at the same time, there's a lot of people basically stealing his style. Couple Fish said, what's on the Rage Bit menu today? Not too much, I don't think. Featherfin Phil says, also check the fish on the thumbnail. They're clearly AI generated. Indeed. What's up, Beto? So, I came across this Impossible Aquariums through Facebook a little bit ago. And I guess I felt more motivated to talk about it now since more people had started noticing and being like, hey, you see this? You see this? And I kind of want to just use this as a case study for easily spotting a grifter. All right. Okay. Let's identify if this place is a grift or not. Identify. You know, the bad thing about spelling stuff live is I'm not good at spelling stuff. I used to be good at spelling stuff, but autocorrect, man, it really removes the requirement. Rasta, man, those AI Pokemon Nat Geo is really cool. Oh no. So Impossible Aquariums, already just off the name, this is just me. This is my disposition because I'm kind of just, you know, I'm a hater. Off the name Impossible Aquariums, I already know this is going to be absolute horseshit, right? The front page, here's some other red flags that I see already. And this goes back to our previous stream. Our previous stream on natural aquariums and no water change aquariums. I think a lot of the stuff I said is going to ring true today. And that's one of the great things I loved about that stream, because I felt like we covered a lot of good stuff that stream. That is going to age very well. And one of the things we said here, right? One of the things we said here about natural aquariums is that they don't exist. Okay? That this is a marketing term. Right? Biotope, planted aquarium. It doesn't exist. The natural aquarium, people usually talking about this are trying to sell you something. I go to the front of this page, I see articles of data, I see he's made up this SLESS method, which is called the Symbiotic Litho-Ecological Substrate System. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, come on, do I need to explain to you what's going on here? Then over here we have kits and tools. Now, everyone always that brings up this stuff with natural aquariums, almost always they're trying to sell you something. That is one of the biggest red flags and the biggest consistent things. Ross said, I'm pretty sure I wrote a comment on one of those Impossible Aquarium posts on IG. Looks like a bunch of BS. This is absolutely outrageous, bro. So let's read how it started, right? During the early stage of my experiment, I maintained several aquariums that followed the conventional model. A 20-gallon long for pistogramma and greenfire tetras, and a 10-gallon aquarium that housed larger rooted plants alongside burrowing species like zigzag eels and dojo loaches. Oh yes, dojo loaches. How big do those get? Yeah, 8 inches. That seems like the standard 10-gallon setup. Like, already, what the fuck are we talking about? He's like, I followed the standard setup. I put an 8-inch fish in a 10-gallon. Like, are we even trying? I put some eels. How big do the zigzag eels get? Let me see. How big do the zigzag get? 90 centimeters? Okay. They live for 10 years? Right. Okay, we're off to a great start. Guys, I didn't even read through this before the stream because I wanted to fully go into this while I'm on stream, give it a fair shot. But in the first paragraph of how it started, we're already like, all right, fantastic. Okay, he's got a 10-gallon with zigzag eels and dojo loaches. This is the standard system apparently. So these systems were biologically rich and productive. A pistogramma was bred regularly. Plants grew vigorously, but only under strict, sustained management. Sounds like a skill issue. Despite using commercial nutrient-rich substrates, I found myself continuously supplementing with fertilizers, feeding schedules, hardware cleaning, and pest control routines to preserve stability. So already, this first sentence tells you that all this person's problems is from the fact that they are dumb as a rock. So I'm sorry to say, like, everything in this first paragraph, why am I going to trust in the research of someone that couldn't even go through the variables to discover that perhaps their lack of success was due to the fact that they might actually have the same IQ as the zigzag and dojo loaches that they have confined to a 10-gallon tank? I'm sure that they are stunted. We just did a stream on this, so, you know, the IQ potential, maybe the compensatory growth could kick in once they get a larger tank. So I have hope for them as well that he could grow. Let's continue to see how this started. Mexicali said, I see you're breaking down the channel I sent you. I had seen it before you sent it to me, but yes, you sending it to me, I mentioned at the start of the stream, I said someone I respected sent it to me, which made me feel like I should talk about it. So here we go. Perhaps he managed to stunt his eel. I think so. Maybe she forgot a 0 and it was supposed to be 100-gallon. I doubt it. 10-gallon tall to grow plants. Fantastic. The 1 inch per gallon theory. The story makes more sense. 100 gallons. Okay. Here we go. What emerged was not a conventional planted tank, but a self-sustaining, open-loop, microbial symbiotic nutrient cycle contained with a compact glass enclosure. Or shut the fuck up! What is this? This just techno about these just random words. Open loop, microbial, symbiotic nutrient cycle. Like, this is just to confuse you, make you think that no way someone would put this much effort into writing these useless words on the page without knowing what they're talking about. I'm here to tell you, whatever this SLESS, symbiotic litho-ecological substrate system, I need to read no more than this how it started page to know that I would actually trust Father Fish over whoever asked ChatGPT to generate this paragraph for them. No fertilization, no water changes, no hardware maintenance. Its only upkeep was periodic topping off. Yes. All the hallmarks are there. Ecosystem, nutrient cycle, top-offs. They don't want you to know the truth. Oh my god. Most notably, the system evolved organically over time, rather than reactively adjusting variables to control biological outcomes. I observed the aquarium mature and adapt under its own ecological momentum. What the fuck are we talking about? The distinct was profound. In my earlier systems, change was imposed by human intervention. You do realize this is your problem. Like, if you feel like, oh, I had to dose all these nutrients, do all this blah blah. No, you didn't. That's your fault, bro. You're the one that overcomplicated it. Like, the camera's on an aquarium right now. I ain't putting any fertilizer in there. I'm not doing anything. Now, is that Bacopa salzmani not the most biggest, beautiful, fastest growing thing ever? No, but it's there. It's kind of purple. It looks good. The Rickia in the back's going crazy. The limnifolia is growing. It's fine. I'm not doing all this extra stuff because that would be, I don't know, how do they say, brain dead. Why would I do that? That doesn't make any sense. Featherford said, big words. I love big words. What's variable biological outcome? What the hell? The waffly. This sounds like someone writing about their failed aquarium on LinkedIn and what it taught them about sales. Now, this person, we'll go over it. They have more of a social media presence on like Instagram. So on Instagram, they have 22,000 followers, and they do it. Seem like they do a decent job getting views on the reels and stuff. And like, look at this. A lot of you are running chemistry experiments, not aquariums. This is projection. The person saying you're running a chemistry experiment has an entire page on their thing called a research where they are running experiments on their, dare I say, swamp tank. Okay, I said it. Now, before we read any further, I'm just going to I'm just going to quickly summarize. I'm going to quickly summarize this paragraph. This paragraph basically tells you all you need to know. Someone that absolutely has no idea what they're talking about failed at one or two aquariums that they clearly were keeping in not great conditions. They're doing horrendous husbandry on it, and they decided that their failure qualified them to now discover the truth. Okay, So before we even go further on the website, I'm going to show you some more obvious red flags. The freshwater aquarium industry is 30 years behind actual science. Then look at this. Look at this fucking hideous tank. He hasn't even taken off the plant weights on the dusty ass plant that he's got in the tank. Talking to me about 30 years behind science. You're 30 days behind your maintenance, okay? You have 5 feet of substrate in there, and I know as soon as you disturb it, the whole room smells like ass for the next hour. But this got 484,000 views, which is the main point. This, again, is a trend, okay? This is a trend. It gets people views. That's why people do it. It's not because they believe it works. The proof is in the viewership, all right? The proof is in the viewership. The more outrageous and the more dumb of a message that you have, the more views that you get, okay? Like, look at this. Cycling doesn't take 4 months. It takes 6 months. You're just brainwashed by forums and influencers. Like, am I being, like, fish pilled right now? Like, what's going on, bro? We got fishing on. This is what's happening. It's like people that make the fact that they don't understand basic concepts everyone else's problem. Like, maybe the freshwater hobby isn't behind 30 years. You know, maybe you just are actually, you're the one that's behind 30 years. You know what I mean? Oh, hey. Here's another one. One success for any aquarium, learn the other cycles, not the nitrogen cycle. And then every single tank here looks like an absolute disaster. Like, whatever cycle's going on there, leave me out of it. Now, I got plenty of ugly tanks. Okay, I got plenty of ugly tanks. But when I give people advice, let me tell you, I'm not going to show the tanks that clearly got something funky going on with them. This one over here looks like it's rusty. I don't know what's happening. But that's another thing that's always in common with these people. They say they found a method, the secret to success, and all of their takes look like absolute garbage, okay? This is the one take that kind of looks all right. Now, okay, we got plants here. Okay, a lot of plants. Fantastic. Wait, let me see this. Because the square tank is one that he uses for the method, all right? We got to go back to the website in a second because I got to get to the method, okay? 1 second. I got to show the square tank. But I'll link this in the chat just so you guys can take a look for yourself. But I guarantee you're gonna see all horrendous tanks. Alaska said, copy and paste it to ChatGPT and ask if it was wrote by AI. I don't need to ask AI to know. I know. Steve says, it's not about what's best or accurate. It's about what gets interaction. 100%. Big Steve, 100%. Secret Big Ammonia doesn't want you to know. Like, this is a lot of what's going on with the site, and we're going to proceed. But a lot of what's going on is, imagine if the dumbest person that you know came up to you and said, bro, I just realized, yo, all these little black symbols on the paper, they have a meaning. Bro, they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know that these are actually words that have a meaning. They don't want you to know. And then you're just like, oh my god, dude, like, did you just learn how to read? Because, like, we do know that. And then they go off and they're like, they're telling everyone, like, they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know. And all the other people that can't read, they're like, oh my god, bro, I didn't realize, like, finally you told me the truth. And all of us are just like, guys, this is like an open, you know, yes, these are words. They have meaning. That's kind of like the what's going on here. So yeah, this is I saw one with Azola. 1 second. There's a video where he had like some Azola, like it's just like the floating plants in the tank are dying. Like, he's killing the floating plants in the tank and the one thing, and I'm just like, this is the functioning ecosystem that you're so raving about, and you can't even grow some damn floating plants. 1 second. Let me see if I can find it. There's just so much. Well, let me get to the website. Oh, here we go. The Nano Cube, day 1866. So, if you want to follow the method, this is what you could get. And this is another thing I want to keep in mind, which goes back to our water change thing. When it comes to these people, not only do all the tanks look terrible, and not only is all the information bad, where are the fish? Like, where are the fish? If there's fish, they usually look terrible. If they don't, there's like one. And if you'll notice with this person, it's almost all shrimp. Of course, because yes, the shrimp are roaches. They're going to survive the horrendous conditions that you put them in. Like, yes, a shrimp is not going to care about this tank where half the water volume is just, waste. Oh, he's got scuds in there. Half of this is just scuds and shrimp. You're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Where are the fish? Because I'm keeping an aquarium to keep fish. And I'm not seeing no fish. I see a tadpole. I'm just seeing shrimp after shrimp after shrimp. Why? I don't know. Perhaps these methods are pretty terrible to have fish in. Now, we see almost a year ago, there was a post with a scarlet baddis in it. I'm guessing December 2025, not a whole year ago. I'm not seeing any more posts about the scarlet baddis, okay? I don't know how long the scarlet baddis. I'm just seeing shrimp. So, let's go back to the website, though. Featherfin Film said, there's a guppy. Bomba said, stop with the shrimp hatred. It's not shrimp hatred, I'm just saying. The shrimp can survive. Of course. So, let's go to the shop, because what people are selling is going to tell you the most. Now, I already said the site is already quite obviously written by AI. But at the top of the shop, we have a free digital tool, Aquarium AI. Your tank deserves intelligence, a complete source prompt that turns any AI model into a personalized aquarium assistant trained on your exact tank. No subscription, no strings. We even got this. We even got the M-dash right here. The ultimate AI indicator. Just a free hook to attract you to the ecosystem. So, I mean, they're basically telling you what's going on. Please don't download this. Your data. It remembers everything about your tank. So this is just a wrapper for existing AI models. And yeah, probably just taking your data or something. There's some kind of hook there. I wouldn't do it. But on a site I'm saying is written entirely by AI, they're advertising an AI fish keeping tool. So I feel like I don't really have to do much to convince you that, yeah, the site is run by AI. They clearly love AI. And anyone that's used AI enough to keep fish knows that it's absolutely horrible at giving you good advice on proper husbandry. Just terrible. Mexicali said, do you try out the app? So for one, I would never download this app. For two, I don't need to try the app because I already have all these AI models. So it's just a wrapper for AI models that already exist. So it's not even a unique thing. Can you look at Aquarium Authority? He tries, bro, is this Skeptical's alt account? Aquarium Authority is a Skeptical Aquatics. I feel like you're Skeptical Aquatics at this point, even for bringing it up. That's a very strange individual. Here's the other thing. So we got the research, the real empirical data, and peer-reviewed methodology regarding the system that's an acronym they made up. Now, if you want to actually read it, you have to buy the full report for $6. And when you click the free summary, you're shit out of luck because a 404 page not found. So, whatever someone is claiming to find the answers, you got to pay to find the answer $6. This is like course selling already. We're off to a bad start. Now, this side, no problem. Look, we got in-person maintenance, Central Florida only. Help setting up tanks, establishing existing aquariums, and moving systems. $80 to $120. Not sure if that's per hour or what. But, I mean, sure. Why not? Now, all the tanks we've seen are pretty horrendous. But this is where I kind of feel like Father Fish should get some royalties. So you got the SLESS Jarrarium. Does this sound familiar? Does it sound familiar? Now you gotta join a kit waitlist. Isn't available yet. They got the NanoCube kit waitlist too. And then they have all of these. I guess you need 50 people to reserve to buy these products. And then the other product you can get on a wait list for is a journal, the Impossible Aquarium Journal. Plan your world, weekly check-ins, connect the dots, and your tank story. Turn failures into data and success into science. Your tank is living history. Oh my god. Oh my god. Not yet available is the Ecological Calculator. Bioload, stocking density, substrate ratios, and oxygen demand, all calculated using real ecological principles. This is just going to be some AI generated thing. Okay. Featherfin said it's all nano stuff too. Six Handle said, I'm not him, bro. I feel assaulted. My apologies. My apologies. Okay. So, research. Let's go to the research. Let's see what we can find here. Okay. How ecological theory fixes aquarium reality. 5 landmark papers that changed how I think about aquariums, why every serious hobbyist should read them. Let's see. Some real papers. We might get to something good here. Alright. In 1887, Stephen Forbes published The Lake as a Microcosm, arguing that a single body of water represents a complete and independent equilibrium of organic life. Isolated yet internally connected, he observed that a disturbance to any single species must speedily have influence of some sort on the whole assemblage. This is the foundational truth of Impossible Aquarium. A tank is not a random collection of fish. It's a tightly coupled system where the biological availability of a single ion can dictate the Bro, he's doing a lot. The biological availability of a single ion can dictate the stability of the entire food web. Forbes was writing about... I think he's supposed to say Forbes wasn't writing about lakes. He was describing your tank. Now, besides the fact that this is one of the most AI written sentences I've ever read, he's basically found a random sentence from an article from 200 years ago that kind of loosely relates to the narrative he's trying to push. It actually has nothing to do with what he's talking about. Like, someone saying in 1887 that a body of water is a independent equilibrium of organic life, and that the disturbance to a single species will have an impact on the whole thing, is not related to a single ion in an aquarium can dictate the stability of the entire food web. Like, this is a big jump. This is a big 200-year jump. So it's a real paper, but it really does nothing to do with what he's claiming here. Alright. Ford's microcosm concept directly informs the application of the island biogeography theory. An aquarium is an island. Its small volume dictates that stability must come from efficient resource cycling and niche specialization, not infinite expansion. In standard hobby practice, the immigration rate, adding fish and plants, often exceeds the system's capacity, leading to collapse. My approach is different. I view the aquarium not as a holding cell to be maintained, but as a closed loop that must evolve on its own terms. So here's what I have issue with this. First of all, I don't think of any of my aquariums as a holding cell that needs to be maintained. I think many people probably don't think about that. And evolving on its own terms sounds fine unless you have a specific goal in mind. So when you want to let things evolve on their own terms, this is what you're going to end up on. Okay? You're going to end up with a bunch of tanks that look like a muddy puddle out back. Okay? The reality is that most people keep an aquarium with a goal in mind. They probably want something that maybe looks a little bit nice. And since we actually feel responsible for caring for the system and helping it be able to reach the level of healthiness and ability to actually sustain the goal that we want to get to, we're going to do the work to make sure that we don't end up with a muddy tank that can't sustain the life of a couple of fish. I mean, we're not even seeing like 6 or more fish in any of these tanks. It's not that an aquarium cannot support that. It's just that there's no interest in actually doing the work to make it so that's possible, right? Now, I think there's a lot of things getting mixed up here. One is that the idea that people don't understand that you need to let aquariums mature into themselves. I think that's the thing that people do understand. The misconception here is that you shouldn't have any input into how it evolves. Actually, if you put in the work to make sure the aquarium gets to where you want it to be, you can meet the goals of whatever fish you want to keep in there. But if you do want to just let it go to complete shit on its own, then yeah, you're going to end up with a bunch of ugly tanks that you can only keep shrimp in, which is basically what we're seeing here. But hey, let me read on. Predetermination. Before water touches glass, determine the carrying capacity of the island. Select species not just for visual harmony, but for functional connectivity. Oh my god, bro. The words. Bronze Baltimore said, I have some L33 yellow king tiger plecos, 1.5 to 1.75 inches, $20. He's changing the game, Nick. Shut up, Ross. The page that charges $6 works. Did you buy the $6 page? What's up, Pond Puppies? Okay, this is all just techno babble. Evolution versus stasis. We don't want a static environment. We want a system that grows and matures. One that develops its own unique biological character over time. Any fish tank is going to do this. So that's another thing. Like, any fish tank, no matter how you set it up, is going to grow and mature in a unique way. I think all the people with multiple tanks can attest that you may have 4 tanks that you set up, you know, pretty much the same way. Sometimes a lot of things can mature and develop differently in all those tanks. It has nothing to do with if you put 5 feet of, you know, bat guano in there. That's just what's going to happen. Mick said, one more bad word about shrimps and Baba's losing it for real. Baba said, all right, this feels kind of personal. Shitty takes that you keep shrimp in. I'm just saying, I'm not talking bad about shrimp. I'm just saying that they could survive a lot. Okay. Let's go to the next big point here. A lot of these papers are like from 50 years plus ago. He really had to search for something that he's like telling the AI, please find a paper that shows the kind of concept I'm trying to push here. And the AI is like, listen, man, the best I could do is 1969. Okay, that's the best I could do. Eugene Odom's The Strategy of Ecosystem Development, 1969, provides a roadmap for what hobbyists clumsily call cycling. Now, I think we all agree we're all sick of the cycling discourse, so I think we're all on the same page here. Odom defined ecological succession as an orderly process that culminates in a stabilized ecosystem where symbiotic functions are maximized. Bro, this is like the ecological succession, an orderly process that culminates in a stabilized ecosystem where symbiotic, like, no, the humans do not speak like this, bro. Especially ones that are trying to sell me jars of mud. This brings us the frustration of new tank syndrome. Standard literature treats new tank syndrome as a disease. Who treats new tank syndrome as a disease? A toxic spike of ammonia that must be battled with chemicals and patience. Well, I mean, I agree with the patience. This approach is fundamentally flawed. NTS is not a syndrome. It is the pioneer stage of succession. Bro, how am I supposed to read through this bullshit, bro? What kind? This is like reading a fan fiction version of someone writing about aquariums. Like, someone just sat down, they got fired from their job writing their 20th Harry Potter fan fiction. They're like, listen, it's not really hitting the same. I mean, you used Hermione like multiple times. You know, we're sick of the Hermione arcs. Like, we liked what you did with Dobby a couple of pages back. That was a good one. But, you know, we feel like you haven't found the passion. So I gotta look for inspiration. Let me write about aquariums. This is what you get, okay? It's not a syndrome. It's a pioneer stage of succession. The tetra shuddered as the Anubias leaf slowly caressed its ventral fin. Like, this is what we're going into the stage here with the AI. The hardy fish method of cycling a tank is an artificial stress test. It floods the system with high concentration waste, selecting for R strategist bacteria that are not the organisms that sustain a mature planted aquarium. You didn't cycle your tank. You selected for the raw community entirely. Like, every time we get the AI, you didn't do X. You did this. It not only does it do that, there's an M dash between it. You didn't cycle to take M dash. You selected for the wrong community entirely. I can't even read this, dog. This is absolute slop. This doesn't even deserve to be hosted on it. What's hosted on this website? What's the website hosted, bro? Someone's got to contact them. This is absolutely a disgrace. I need the grifters to pick up the effort level, okay? I need more effort into this. This sentence here has 2 M dashes in a row. It does an M dash in 3 words and another M dash. This whole paragraph has 3. What is going on here, bro? What is actually going on? You must not have the premium. This can't be the premium word. I thought it was better than this. Okay, through his strenuous efforts of research and science, he's unlocked the secrets of raw aquaria. Holy. This is not how someone talks that is trying to sell me a jar of mud. Got me. Mud blood, Fellow says. Hilarious. I have my CR neon orange shell shrimps. I'm waiting for how far Dick will go. I was just waiting for how far Dick will go myself. Listen, I like shrimp. He's selling bad mom. Holy. Okay, Okay, let's read the SLESS since that's one of the main thing. The synthesis of theory and data. The SLESS methodology is the practical application of these 5 pillars. Oh my gosh, everything's accountable. The 5 pillars, like all the made up bullshit to make it sound legit you could possibly ask for. The vegetative driver, high cation exchange CEC substrates like laterite clay act as a nutrient battery. M dash, charging when nutrients are abundant, discharging when they're scarce. The ecological driver, porous substrates like volcanic ash and lava rock create the physical microhabitats required for robust microfaunal food web to establish and self-sustain. SLESS fuses these by integrating a high C. So here's another problem. Sometimes these things have real concepts in them, but they're always like, you got to do it my way for success. Right? You gotta do it this way. This is what the people don't want you to know. When in reality, you can apply all these concepts that are real, like a high cation exchange substrate and stuff, and you can make an aquarium that you actually take care of, and it actually looks nice. Because for some reason, all of the methods require that your aquariums look like they are being taken care of by your 5-year-old. Okay, I'm just being honest, bro. Like, if the tank looks like an alcoholic or a 5-year-old is taking care of it, then perhaps you've been led astray. Because I don't think that the whole point of having a nice, healthy environment is to just give yourself as much reason to never maintenance it. You know? Like, if I have something that I'm trying to take care of, I want to do the extra work to make it as healthy as it possibly could be. I don't want to just say, well, technically, I don't have to change the water in this for 3,000 years. And I only keep shrimp and scuds in there. So realistically, they're going to, survive. They'll be in there. They'll be fine. I think we could do better than this. What's up, Jeff? SC. What's up, Jody? How's it going? Mick, get some Caratina shrimp. That's funny. That's funny. All right. All right. I'm gonna put the link to this this website in the chat. You guys can check it out for yourself if you want. I don't really know that there's too much that I could stand reading. It's 100%. Every single sentence on here is 100% AI written. So just off that fact, you cannot trust any of the information that's provided on this page because it's all written by AI, and I use AI regularly enough to know that I can't trust it to tell me something that's true. Now, perhaps if you spend the $6 to buy the full report, quote unquote, peer reviewed, if it was peer reviewed and published, hopefully I would be able to purchase it or view it somewhere other than Gumroad. I'm not familiar with this, but yeah, you gotta watch out for this kind of stuff. You really do. I do think he owes Father Fish some money, though. I really think. Okay, we see a fish. 1 year in the paludarium. Let's see what the fish 1 year in the paludarium are looking like. This is, what is this, a bumblebee goby? Man. Where's all the other fish? Is this the only one that survived? Where's the other fish? Oh, is that we got crickets in there? What the hell? We got more crickets than fish. I don't know that much about bumblebee gobies, so I can't say whether or not it looks healthy or not. I'm just looking for some fish. Alright? I'm looking for something besides scuds or shrimp that have been kept alive. And I'm not talking bad about shrimp to all you. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. We got a scud jar. Love it. SLESS method. Okay, let's see. We got an experiment here.
Samples from these jars, which are supposed to be identical, inoculated on these agar plates. I'm gonna grab samples not only from the water column but also from the substrate, and I'm gonna divide these plates and place it in my incubator. And you can see that there's a clear difference over here between jars, even though they were made at the same time with the same ingredients.
Here's another thing. You notice, like, why is the stuff
and they were left in the same
glitching around his hands so much? Look at this.
Place for the same amount of time. For that, I'm going to be using sterile pipettes, collecting the samples, and I've been washing everything with alcohol.
What the hell was that?
My best not to contaminate the
samples.
Look,
everything's warping around his hand.
Also, I would like to let you know.
One second. What's going on here? 1 second. What's going on here? How deep does the AI usage go? I'm trying to find something else that's... I have a feeling some of these videos might not be real now. Oh, it's kind of weird. I need more science. Where's the science? This test shows how you can control algae. Okay. How? I conducted this experiment comparing a UVC sterilizer from Haiger against a control. Okay, this is an ad for a sterilizer. Listen, guys, this is what I want to not become when I buy a microscope. Okay, don't let me buy a microscope and then I get on here, I just show anything under a microscope and I'm like, listen guys, I did some science, so I know what they don't want you to know. I know what they don't want you to know about aquariums. Okay. Let's see. The nitrogen cycle you memorize is a lie. Let's see. Oh no, we got the conspiracy music off the bat. Alright. Cycling protocols that introduce high concentrations of ammonia artificially select for bacteria colony that's incompatible with the long-term reality of a planted tank. You may be engineering a microbial community designed for collapse. Real stability belongs to Chamamox nitrospira, a microscopic powerhouse with a high affinity kinetics necessary to scavenge the trace ammonia that plants in this. We pretend to know what we're doing, yet we often fight the very ecological succession we aim to establish. And this whole time you read this, so I'm like, okay, what is the answer then? How do I know the answer to what to do? Visit my website, the link in the bio, to not lose the soon-to-come article in this novelty research and a deeper look at substrate mechanics. And the article is paywalled. Like, do you not see what's going on? Like, I know the answers. They're lied to. There's only... this is the truth. You want to know the truth? Check out the link in my bio and make sure you get on the wait list to purchase my full report so you can wake up. Come on, sheep. Wake up. Only $6. Liver King used the 5 pillars method. Hilarious. Hilarious. What's up, Mitchell? How's it going? There's a specific one I'm looking for where you could tell that the video was like he AI'd the science writing on the board in the background. It was kind of hilarious. Look, I'm sorry. The caption is, "You must be spending so much money," and then it just looks. It looks at a bunch of tanks. For Lord forgive me, but if I was homeless, this is what my rack would look like. I'm sorry, guys. If I ever become homeless, you're going to find me under a bridge with a rack that looks like this. Okay? You must be spending so much money, bro. No one is saying that. No one is saying that after seeing this. You got a wire rack and a bunch of tanks full of mud. I'm sorry. No one has ever asked you, "Oh, you must be spending so much money," after looking at this. Like, bro, are you for real? You could go to a fish a fish meeting, and people would probably pay you to take the stuff that you got here. They're probably, "Please, I don't want this junk in my aquarium anymore." Not even the floating plants are thriving in these setups. Okay. What I'm saving, $12 each, 2.5 gallon aquarium, a Petco account. Oh, this is a aqua aquarium collaboration. I'm not spending my money with moss, shrimps, bottle bacteria, hairgrass, snails, floater, microorganism culture. All that will be harvested from these 3 aquariums for the future. How much are you spending or saving? Wow. I'll be honest, if I came in, I'd be like, you might want to spend more money. That might be what I say. Yo, how much are you spending on this? Ooh, how's the father fish method working out for you? Let's see. Okay, he's a fan of the father fish method. It's basically the summary. I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked. Let me go back to the website real quick here. Let me see what's going on. I got the Amazon links. Okay. Hey, what's this? Why has he got a link to Seachem Prime on here? That sounds like a chemical to me. That is not, that is not natural. You should be using only well water for these tanks. I don't like that at all. Get this Seachem Prime out of here. That's what they want you to spend money on. I want to see he's got a substrate comparison thing, but that's a $6 purchase. So I can't really, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I can't do it for the stream, unfortunately. Oh man. Let's see what else we got going on here. I'm trying to see the experiments. Conclusion: jars supplemented with phosphorus, especially when combined with nitrogen, display more pronounced growth or accumulation at the bottom. This suggests that phosphorus may be the key limiting nutrient of the pond water, driving the observed biological activity when added. Man. And he's holding up a book. I know you're not reading that book. Oh, there's the whiteboard I was talking about before. Only there's no sign. This time it just says "didn't work" on the back. Okay. I'm trying to find a science video that has the whiteboard in the back of it. Is there any other people like this that you guys have seen recently? Because I feel like they're just exploding in number. Just people that they have the answer to everything of why aquarium. Everyone's lying to you about aquariums. You never have to do anything to them, and then you look at their work, and it's just the worst, most mid tanks you've ever possibly seen. Like, this is ridiculous, bro. Is this even an aquarium at this point? You may as well just take the water out, turn it to a terrarium. Look how much damn dirt is in here. This has got to be at least 40% of the tank. All right. Well, let's look up some fish, because I think that's pretty much it on this. It's just a couple of people had sent this to me, Mexicali being one of the more recent ones, because he's got kind of a more Instagram, Facebook kind of a thing, and I guess now he's doing more YouTube and things like that. Listen, everyone's got to eat, right? So I appreciate it.
I have opened this.
Now we've seen on YouTube, I see the one fish is one that he opened up to see what it ate, which seemed to be mostly scuds. And I think this is the same square tank here. Actually, whatever tank this is, it kind of looks better. It did not improve with age. Holy. All right, let's look up some fish. Bro, don't compare me to this bum. Wait. Jeff said there's an AI boom in the fish community. Anyone else with AI that you've seen recently? Broom said, what is different than this whole SLESSS method than any other method? I still can't tell other than you just let it go, which is kind of common. AI Fishkeeper said, if you don't want the information, don't pay for it. Well, I'm definitely not going to pay for it, and no one should pay for it because it's not real information. It's all AI generated. And the experiments that he's run, horribly constructed, basically prove nothing. Good AI Fishkeeper in the chat. It's kind of hilarious. Joined August 13, 2024, so kind of ahead of the AI curve. Shout out to you. Pond Puppy says, no wonder he doesn't use the nitrogen cycle. You could use Prime every day. Definitely hilarious. Fishkabe said, I should break out my microscope that I have no idea why I own more often. Well, if you could, then perhaps you might be able to become a scientist. You might be able to invent a new acronym. Because Broom was asking what's the difference between this method and anything else besides letting it go. That's what I'm saying. All these methods don't really revolve around doing anything except for being lazy. Mick said, Bamba would love to ask this guy questions. So that's funny. Deep substrate is essential for proper balance in an aquarium. I'm gonna have to say there's no evidence of that being true. I'm gonna have to say that. I'm gonna have to say that. There's no evidence of deep substrate being essential for a balance in an aquarium. Now, someone who's been keeping fish longer than me could chime in, but I've talked to a lot of people that have been keeping fish for a long time. I've seen a lot of balanced aquariums that didn't have 5 feet of substrate. Fishcapade said the only prerequisite you need to be a scientist, a microscope. I think so. This is what we need to be a scientist. I think to be a AI fish scientist kit. All right. Now, if you were ready to start selling some meaningless bullshit and make up things, feel like you discovered something when you're actually behind everyone else, let me help you. AI Scientist Fish Kit, okay? We need a free ChatGPT/Claude account. Listen, you can't afford the Pro. Trust me, I can't afford the Pro. I'm a bum. You're a bum too. That's why we're about to scam some people for some money. So you need the free ChatGPT account right now. All right? That's the only way to make this work. Without AI, this is not possible, okay? AI Fish Scientist Kit. Other thing you need in order to pull this off, you need endless confidence in the face of the public. All right? You just got to be confident in what you're saying, no matter what you're saying. Never, ever admit that you're wrong, that something may not have been accurate. You just have to keep making up more stuff whenever you're challenged, okay? Something Alaska said he has folders on the desk next to the microscope. I bet science is in these folders. That's hilarious. 6handle343 said deep substrate is good for creating height. True. And Broom said that. Okay, I laughed out loud at that one about the science being in the folders next to the microscope. That's hilarious. Okay, so we need the free ChatGPT account. We need endless confidence. Okay, next thing we need to rip off Fatherfish. Now, again, I know Fatherfish, they say ripped off Diane Walstead. She got no personality. Honestly, Fatherfish is the GOAT for this method at this point, okay? Walstead is over here conducting science, putting cherry shrimp in bowls, doing nothing interesting. Fatherfish actually made it exciting, okay, for the average person. So I'm honestly giving this whole method to Fatherfish. I think Walstead gets too much credit. Listen, she's the first one to create the terrible method of keeping fish. Fatherfish he's perfected the art of making people want to do it. Beto says deep substrate is essential in an undergravel filter. Maybe I haven't used the undergravel filter, so I'm not sure. Okay, rip off Fatherfish. Now, if you're an AI fish scientist kit, again, you're going to need a microscope, writing utensils, okay, And you're also probably going to need a whiteboard. Now, I gotta give credit. Impossible Aquariums, doing a great job of hitting all the marks here, okay? Now, the other thing you're gonna need is a bunch of garbage, all right? Every single jar you can find, go to the local dump, go into your neighbor's trash. Anything that's clear that you can put water in, put some dirt in, put it in a windowsill for a second, and just leave it there for a couple 100 days so you can like be like, I ran this experiment. You're gonna need a lot of them, trust me, because at some point you're gonna have to pivot from the experiments. You're gonna have to clear some space, and you need to start selling these jars to people. Okay, you gotta start selling these jars. Like, we had the resurrection jars. You can't do that. That's Fatherfish. You gotta come up with your own name. So listen, you're going to need some garbage. All right, you're gonna need garbage, glass jars, etc. for research. And I gotta say, there's quite an assortment of garbage with a possible aquarium, so I gotta be honest. I can't hate. It's impeccable. I mean, I don't know what this thing on the right here, like, what is this? He's got all sorts of foreign factors I've never even seen before. So definitely, either he's got a very varied collection of things that he consumes himself, or maybe his neighbors did actually donate. But listen, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. When these hit the market, I'm sure they're gonna go crazy. Look, 450 days old vial. This is an investment. So if you're gonna do this AI slop natural aquarium thing, you gotta start filling up jars now, because Impossible Aquariums is ahead of you. He's got a 450-day-old vial just lying around. You need to start putting water in some shit and locking it up for a long time. No one's gonna listen to you with a 50-day-old vial. Okay, we need to know your method actually works. So if I don't see a crusty old dusty mason jar or something in the next, I don't know, 2 years that you can tell me is old, I'm just not gonna be able to take you seriously. Okay. SE said, apparently my swamp tanks work. 2 weeks of having peacock gudgeons and we have eggs. Congratulations. Congratulations. It was a really fun fish to breed. Mick said, I've done deep substrate for saltwater, creating that anaerobe function. Something Fish Alaska said, old essential oil jars. I do have to find a use for it. Baba said, bro, you giving ideas? No. Into the Future 1.618 said, repurpose suppositories, it looks like. I didn't want it, Pride. I wasn't sure if I wanted to say it, but like, I did kind of think this looks like some kind of butt plug or something. I don't know what's going on over here. We're doing some 450-year-old enemas. I have no idea, but I gotta respect the variety, right? The real plan is to find the cheapest thing you can off Amazon that you can buy in bulk. Doesn't matter what it is. Back into selling it with AI science. Oh, Visual Broom, he's kind of spitting. He's kind of spitting. Yo, if you start thinking that, now, I'm going to be honest. I got to be honest. What Mitch is saying is kind of another level of grift. Like, no offense to Possible Aquariums, I think he's going to do much better on the numbers front. Like, listen, this stuff, it goes bananas when it comes to views and things like that. I have no doubt he's going to succeed when it comes to that. That's why this stuff works, right? Everyone wants to not change the water in their tanks. Go for it. But that stuff requires a different level of salesmanship to do the dropship. That is where you get to someone like 10-gallon fish tanks. Like, that's the kind of thing that he would do, right? Actually, the other version of that is 3D printing. Okay, 3D printing. So I haven't looked at his channel in a while, but I did notice he has made a foray into 3D printing, and I have to be honest, I am dying to know, what does Corey from Aquarium Co-op feel about this? Because not only does 10-gallon fish tanks credit him for the idea starting his channel, he's now starting to stealth advertise his 3D printed products that he can't even figure out how to make function. Products that compete with Aquarium Co-op on Aquarium Co-op social media, like constantly. It's actually kind of hilarious. So here we have a design for a 3D printed aquarium sponge filter. and he posted on here saying he can't get it to sink. And he said, I've used sand, which was too lightweight, and the plant weights by Aquarium Co-op are a little too expensive. And he's looking for ideas on one of the Aquarium Co-op Facebook pages, while also saying their weights are too expensive. There's just something kind of hilarious about it. But this is like the other level of grift. It requires a bit more charisma, a bit more confidence, and honestly, you don't have to do the whole science thing, so it's kind of better in a lot of ways, because you don't need the microscope, you don't need the notebook, maybe just a 3D printer. Jeff Kane says, is Impossible Aquariums a skeptical aquatics alt channel? I think the only reason they kind of seem similar is because they both use AI. I see this is a totally different style. And this is actually... So I haven't... Since I last did the live stream where we measured 10-gallon fish tanks, I did not look at the channel because I feel like I said all I needed to say. I still kind of feel that way. But in that live, we went through and we counted how many times he put a dollar amount in the title. Because I said that's usually a sign that someone is just making everything up. Not only has he kept doing that, and I couldn't believe this when I saw this. Within weeks of each other, we have 2 videos saying how Greedy Fish paid for his $15,000 dream fish room. 2 videos in 2 weeks. I think there's actually a third one that I'm missing here, because I feel like we got 3,000 in a week from a 10-gallon. 1,000 a month from 5 snails. I feel like he posted that before. Bro, you gotta watch out, man. You gotta watch out. It's getting dangerous out here. But yeah, find a 3D print design. Even better if it's a free one that you can take and put your logo on it, like a plant holder or something. That's like the other level of grift, though. Pond Puppy says, I make false bottoms similar to vivariums to create fake deep substrates beds for weight reduction. Oh, that's nice. You gonna watch this and start selling his failed experiment? Oh man. The true profit will be made after enough of such channel does this effect that he starts selling the jars. Okay, do we have everything we need? Okay, the chat GPT, and you know, that's really the main thing. Rip off fatherfish, that's good. Yeah, glass jars. Alright. Yeah, endless confidence. The microscope, whiteboard. Oh, let me not forget the folders. Science folders. Okay, AI fish scientist kit. Let me just look for inspiration here. Oh yes. We need our own unique buzzwords. Okay, unique buzzwords and acronyms. Okay, substrate battery, environmental ecological reproductive flow. All right, the synthesis of the bacterial microbiome of the symbiotic relationship between the substrate and the heart of your aquarium. Or let me see if I can do so. Let me see what else can I come up with here. Let's come up with my method. Aquarium. Okay, I'm coming up with my new thing right now. Okay, this is the new wing of In My Tanks. Okay, it's called Aquarium Substrate Science. All right, also known as ASS. All right, Aquarium Substrate Science, and this is actually supported by the Bacterial Informational Galaxy. So my Bacterial Informational Galaxy is powering the Aquarium Substrate Science. So in fact, everything that I'm doing here science-wise is made possible by Big Ass. All right, I'm not the one that made up the acronym. That's just the science of it. Okay, so listen, you need the Bacterial Informational Galaxy. What is that? Well, in our aquariums, there's actually a lot of small living things we can't see that power the entire cycle. So they're talking about ammonia, nitrate, nitrite, all that. Forget all that. There's a whole bacterial informational galaxy that we're just not aware of. Now, if you want to learn about it, I'm going to have to charge you $20 for you to read it. Why? Because I'm going up against an entire military-industrial complex of aquarium misinformation. So if you want the big the bacterial informational galaxy, that's $20. Now, if you want to access to the aquarium substrate science, I need you to get on the wait list. That's going to be $8. That's coming out soon, but just go ahead and go my GoFundMe, my Patreon, because this is just, I'm doing this all on my own. And there's black vans outside, there's green vans outside. There's a lot that I'm going up against. They don't want you to know this information. I need you to subscribe because I need both of them. I need the bacterial informational galaxy, and I also need the aquarium substrate science, because without Big Ass, we're never going to win. So that's kind of my pitch to you. Please, Venmo, PayPal on my tanks. I'm thinking about Patreon, whatever it's going to take to get Big Ass off the ground. Into the Future said a random number generator from dollar amounts on each title. What's always so funny about the dollar amounts in these things is they're always like a perfect round number. 3,000 a week, 1,000 a month, whatever a month. This channel started a year ago. So a year ago, I made $70 off my shrimp and plants and got free fish, okay? Within a year, $15,000 breeding fish paid for my $15,000 dream fish room. Now, I don't even want to talk about 10-gallon tanks because it kind of feels like bullying. I don't feel like I have to do much for people to understand this is one of the least trustworthy looking people you've ever seen. He's desperately inside of every single Facebook group community trying to find a way to come across as authentic and pick up people to follow him. But first of all, anyone that breeds fish for a living knows that there's probably no way in hell that he made $50,000 breeding fish from what we've seen publicly. Now, if he's got some other room where he's breeding stuff in, sure. I'm just going to go on a limb and say I have my doubts. But beyond that, something about the LED lights on the ceiling, the whole aesthetic, the fact that this is basically set up as a big advertising room to do live streams, like the TikTok lives, like the TikTok shop lives, and they got the set where they have products. It's kind of what it looks for. There's almost nothing practical about it on the cost front. So the fact that it costs $15,000 kind of seems like a skill issue, but it also just seems like a good number. And I understand why he keeps making it in the title, because look, $15,000, he gets 1,000 views. $50,000, he gets 1,000 views. Whatever this BTS is, 69 views. This About Heaters, 400 views. This About Heaters, 200 views. Oh, 1,000 a month, 1.2K views. Like, he's breaking 1,000 whenever there's a dollar amount in the title, so I get the incentive. Look, make your first $100 or $300 selling aquarium fish, 1K views. $100 in the thumbnail, 1K views. You gotta see, like, I understand the incentives there. Every other time, it's not quite hitting the same. I do got to laugh my absolute ass off at this. So you have this video called Higer Broadsword 300 Watt Aquarium Heater Product Review, and the thumbnail says, "You need this heater. You can't make this up. You can't make this up." The very next video after "You need this heater" is why I'm throwing away all my aquarium heaters. You cannot make this up. And in the description, you got the AI breakdown, and it says, I can break down why aquarium heaters can actually be dangerous, how they fail and cause real world problems for fish keepers, especially those who trust them the most. You'll learn in this video, you'll learn why heaters fail more often than people realize, blah, 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 blah. This is literally the next video after he says, you need this. How many watts was it? 1 second. I totally lost my place. Oh, man. 300 watt heater. You need this 300 watt heater. The very next video is, I'm getting rid of all my heaters. They're too dangerous. Oh, my God, bro. Oh, my God. Oh, man. It don't get more grift than that. It don't. Ole. Anyways. Totally got distracted. Talking about possible aquariums today. That's funny. Mick said the best scam is leaving these these videos and channels are all Jorge, leaving it for Nick to spread the word out. It's a long-term troll. Bitch said, listen, Jorge is the kingmaker, so I want to put it past him. I really want it. I really want to put it past him. Making it look stupid and getting reaction is also an advertising plan. Never forget. Well, sometimes I get people. Sometimes they'll be like, "Why do you give these people views?" Why? Bro, it's entertaining to talk about. It's entertaining to talk about. I get entertainment. I don't care if someone I like gets views. That doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? If I get entertainment out of watching their content and being a hater, bro, it works for me. Get all the views that you want. Like a lot of people that have terrible content get lots of views. It's no problem. People find it entertaining. There's nothing wrong with that. Got to make them referral dollars. Yes. Yes. He talks about there being other cycles, but he never actually lists or mentions them. Yes. Well, I mean, I think that's probably in the $6 kit. You know what I mean? All right. Let's look up some fish unless there's something in the AI fish scientist kit that I missed. I think this basically covers it. You just need a free ChatGPT Claude account. I got to rip off father fish. Because listen, it's not going to work unless you get some of the father fish audience in on here. He's kind of hemorrhaging them a little bit. They're ready to get picked up. You got to capture them. You need some glass jars. Yep, unique buzzwords and acronyms. Yep. Microscope. You definitely need that. Let me just double under. No one's going to take you seriously if you don't got a microscope. And I would say this is a hot take, but I think you need a whiteboard too, so people know you can read and write. That's important. Endless confidence in the face of the public. Science folders. What else could you possibly? Oh, Bomba said delusion. I feel like that's endless confidence in the face of the public, but you know what? I think that's worth having a. We're just gonna put the Delulu factor. Yeah, the Delulu factor. You're gonna need that. Into the Future says the older you get, the more you realize that a rising tide lifts all boats and vice versa. Absolutely, I agree. It's kind of like sometimes people are like, this person made this video first on this topic. Like no, bro. Someone else making a video on a topic that you already were working on, or just because someone else did it first, it's actually fantastic for you, because now as soon as they finish watching that video, once you've made your video about it, that's going to get recommended to them. You know what I mean? So I love when people make videos the same. Oh, lab coat and gloves. Okay, I don't think that's required, but it can't hurt. You know what I mean? Like, who am I going to trust more? A scientist wearing, I don't know, jeans and a t-shirt, or a scientist wearing jeans and a t-shirt with a lab coat? You know? Lab coat and gloves. We'll add that on there. I think that's worth it. I forgot the fish butcher fish. Yeah, lots of grifter and fish keeping because the barrier to entry is water and a container. This is what happens when the economy is bad. Hilarious. I'm waiting for a clip to drop. Escaping course. Yeah, that'd be nice. All right. Where should we look up fish today? I haven't looked up fish in a long time. The new arrivals and stuff. Where should we start? Because we all like to keep fish. We all like to keep fish. You know, there's not a lot of fish in most of these natural aquariums. They don't seem to last very long. But I like to keep fish, so where should we look them up? Embroom said, if you're going to show your face, safety glasses. That's true. There's a big decision to make when you do this. Okay, and that is if you show your face or not. You're going to have to make that decision. This might impact how much of a grifter you can be depending on your levels of shame. Personally, I think not. I think you should not show your face if you do this because, one, it decreases the amount of effort you need to pump out this content. Okay, look at Aquarium, the Aquarium Depot guy or whatever. Like, bro, this shit, get the AI script. What is it called? Oh, sorry, Aquarium Store Depot. All you need is the AI script, an editor that you're hiring from a third world country, you know, off of one of those contracting websites. Record the script, source some B-roll, never show your face. If you have to show your face, it increases the work a lot more. You know, I recommend not doing it. The smart way for me to go about this channel is I should have never shown my face. You know what I mean? Just never. No face, no name. Then I could just say whatever I wanted. No shame. What do I want to push? Well, I got the isopod agenda. I need to make more claims about isopods. Like, isopods are gonna fix your algae. Isopods are gonna cycle your tank. Well, there is actually a symbiotic relationship between the isopods and a bacteria in their stomach that allows them to digest more complex cellulose than other organisms. So maybe it could help the longevity of your ecosystem. But still, I could go further. I really could go further on pushing the isopod agenda. Like, let's drive these sales up. Conrad, Captain's Critters, Garden to Eater, Phillips Fish Works, Aquapods LLC. Like, we got to get these sales up. So, like, maybe isopods cure fish cancer. I don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe aquatic isopods are the missing ingredient to the natural aquarium problem. That might just have to be a claim that comes out at this point. Now, if I get a lab coat and some glasses and some gloves, now I could probably show my face and say these things. Embroom says, no face allows you to sell it off and be replaced if it actually takes off. Ooh. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. Because honestly, selling businesses is kind of a fantastic racket. It's kind of a nice thing. People that get a hang of just creating a business and then finding someone to buy it, like, maybe that needs to be applied here, you know? I need more pods. It'd be nice to be able to get a bag of dried sand with eggs in it. Can make a lot of money. Oh, okay. How long before scramble suits are a thing? A scanner, darkly reference. You could be everything all the time. Okay. You need a catchphrase like Swamp Tank. I'm embracing Swamp Tank. I'm going to claim Swamp Tank at this point. If I keep saying it, I'm just going to take ownership of it. Okay, someone's got to start the crusade, right? Now, if we're gonna define swamp tanks into a useful thing, then god damn it, Impossible Aquariums has definitely got a bunch of swamp tanks. But the problem with the phrase is that swamps aren't actually gross and all that. So that's my issue I have. We do need a catchphrase. So guys, what's our version of swamp tanks? Okay, because I already got my biological informational galaxy, and I got the aquarium substrate science big ass. But we need something to describe the tank itself. A safe... what the hell? Safety glasses, safety helmet. To me, swamp tank is a tank with plants to build the cloud. Nick will be the new Blippy. What is Blippy? Blippy? That's something I should look up. Oh my. Oh my. Well, I don't know. The orange suspenders, we might have to make some adjustments here. I don't know if I can pull that off. I don't know. Guys, you're asking too much of me. You're asking way too much of me. This can't happen. This absolutely cannot happen. Let me look up some goddamn fish. What do you guys want to look up first? Actually, wait. I have a fish. I don't think it's in stock anywhere, but I just found this. Okay, I just found this fish, and I think you guys will like it. I think I saw it on Facebook, and I'm gonna be honest, bro. Facebook is like kind of the best place to find aquarium information. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but their suggestion system is way better than a lot of other places for finding things, like just random stuff. Like, I've got wholesalers from like other countries showing up on my page now that I find to be interesting. And all sorts of random things get suggested to me where I'm like, wait a second, this actually is kind of cool. So this fish popped up on my Facebook page. I think you guys were like, what's up, 186? How's it going? I do need to get a microscope, though. I've been saying that for like a year. Maybe I'll do it. It's just I know I'm not going to use it really regularly right now because I'm very lazy. You know, I'm not a real scientist yet. But once I get the microscope, no one's gonna be able to tell me anything, bro. Like, every person that's knowledgeable in my chat, I'm gonna tell them to shut up. Like, you don't know anything, bro. Where's your microscope? Like, Mitchell Broom's he's gonna come in with like his thoughtful comment about like some kind of science thing. I'm just be like, bro, like, I looked at my microscope today. I shook it around. I looked in the microscope. I saw the number 69. I already know what's going on. Six Handle 343 says, does anyone know if neon dwarf rainbow fish will eat shrimp? The Neocaridina shrimp. I haven't kept them together, so someone chime in if you've kept those two together. I'd have to imagine, like most fish, they try to eat small ones, but I think one big thing with shrimp, if you have a lot of vertical space, I feel like if you have a taller tank and the fish are higher up, like I think there's less chance that shrimp are gonna really get bothered. That's just kind of been my experience. But this is a fish that popped up. Bomba says they will eat them. This is a fish that popped up. Paraspherychthes lineatus. Mick said my LFS owner had them 7 to 8 years ago, small plus cute. So a couple things that are interesting about these to me. One, the genus. Chocolate gourami. Sorry, I totally got distracted. So they're gourami, and they're small. And to me, they kind of look like a super dwarf betta fish, honestly, more than a gourami. But they called it the mini chocolate gourami. They reach, it says they hardly reach 2 centimeters in length. And in contrast to all their chocolate gouramis, this is a bubble nester, where all the other ones are mouth brooders. I thought that was pretty fascinating. They say the sexes are hard to tell apart except breeding seasons, and the male changes coloration drastically. It becomes bright orange yellow. And on these photos, they kind of look not like much, but a lot of people like me, that I think some of you are in the chat, I just like it's just a cool fish. It's a super small gourami, like 2 centimeters. That's awesome. Bubble nester, like I'd love to see these things breed. Mick says they can get orange with a triangle blotch, if I remember correctly. Yeah. I'm sure that they can look better than these photos or something. But yeah, I thought these were pretty cool. And then seeing these led me to another fish in that group, Paraspherychthes ocellatus. And because I didn't say before, by the way, this tiny one here, it says they come from... Let me see where they come from. I'm going to have to Google it specifically because I don't think it says Myanmar. Yep, a lot of good fish from there. These come from Burma. They're another close relative of the mouth-brooding chocolate gourami. It's also a bubble nester. They're slightly bigger than the last ones that we looked at, but they have a bit more of a look to them. They got a dot on the center and a dot at the base of the caudal tail. And in these photos, you can see a little bit more iridescence and kind of blotchy black coloring on it. It says in the habitats, P. ocellatus appear heavy day-night changes of water temperature. Okay, it lives in muddy, shallow pools. We love a fish that can live in muddy, shallow pools. This is for the swamp tank right here. That's what I'm talking about. During the night, the temperature becomes as low as 15 degrees Celsius, and the metabolism of the tiny fish is adapted to that change. So look, a fish that can adapt to these temperatures is fantastic. Like, it's just checking all the boxes for me. So they say maybe switch off the heaters at night. Otherwise, the fish will become very sensitive for various diseases on the long term. So two kind of cool miniature gouramis. Now, is there any video of these? That's what I always want to see. If there's videos of the fish. Jacob said, I like it. I never heard of it. Yeah, and Beto says he noticed that too about Facebook, showing actually interesting stuff. Broom said, I have an okay basic microscope. I don't use it often, but I really wish I spent the money with a much better one with a camera that I would also almost never use. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like when I buy a microscope, I'm going to want to get one that is good enough that I'm not going to have to be like, oh, I want this feature and I want to buy. But that means I'm going to spend a certain amount of money on it that I just can't justify right now because I know I'm not going to use it that much. 186, I own a beautiful microscope. It's buried in the closet with pounds of dust and debris on it. And then Jeff said, my microscope is in a box in the fish room, purchased for a reason, but forgot what my plan was. Come on, people. Where are the scientists at right now? I'm gotta, like, what's going on? Let's look at the video of these fish. The eye spot gourami. Paraspherychthes ocellatus. Come on, man. Look at this. tiny little fish. And what I like about them, what I like about fish that don't have that much color, is if they're small and they occupy a specific space. Like these probably, it seems like they hang out atop, right? Then I just feel like they add a little character to some tanks. So or you could put them with shrimp or something. But then they won't take away from whatever the main focus is going to be. But it does add like some nice depth to the aquarium, like something going on that you kind of have to look closely to. So let's see, we got another video with them in, it looks like a bit more of a more tannic water in this tank. They don't look that boring in this one. Like the eye spot is pretty distinct in some of these. Let's keep looking at the videos. 186 said I failed science. SC said I looked at gourami but couldn't get them to breed. I've had some eggs for mine, but I haven't got any fry yet. It's definitely a little bit of a different fish. The sparkling gouramis were dumb easy. In this video, they kind of have a bit more of a metallic kind of brown sheen to them to me, and the eye spot on their midsection kind of has like it's kind of shiny on the outline. Honestly, it looks like an eye for sure. Jacob said I've been looking at plant cells and looking for stuff I've learned from my class. Very nice. What's going on here? I'm just looking at the fish. Yeah, come on, it's a cool little gourami. What else do I have to really say here? Are you guys not convinced? Let's see if there's ones of the lineatus. So I'm looking for these guys to pop up sometime. Next time I'm looking for some fish. This is a cool fish. Now, the ocellatus seem like they've been around a bit more recently. The videos of the lineatus seem to be a lot older, and yeah, there's basically none. I'm only seeing, there's actually a decent amount of videos of the ocellatus, but the lineatus, the smaller ones, there's only one from 15 years ago that I'm seeing at 480p, out of focus. They kind of just look like tiny little striped piranhas. So I think the ocellatus are probably the way to go. They're also very small, but they have a bit more of a look to them. So I feel like this is the standard of fish for today's looking up fish. I need something that's at least this interesting. Here we see them next to some laser quarries. Oh, that quarry looks like it got a jacked up spine. Yeah, it's a cute little fish. This is an expensive take right now. I see this is 8 years ago. I see butterfly barbs. I see orange laser quarries. I see this fish. I feel like that's like a Beckfordii red pencilfish. I feel like I see back there. Someone's just collecting all the cool fish, right? Ahead of their time. Broom said, in my experience, a fish that comes from black water pretty much always has something that really stands out when it's in black water and often not visible in clear water. Yeah. I definitely feel like in the more tannic water, those were looking a bit cooler. I mean, hey, it makes sense. Mick said, failed scientists, also a field to study. And then Mix agrees with Mitchell on that. Let's get to looking up some fish, okay? I'm going to look at the list of stuff that's come in last time updated on the stores. If anyone has any suggestions, let me know. This is more of a just random, let's see if anything cool pops up thing. Because I mostly just wanted to get my hater on for the most recent AI slop. What's the word? AI slop dealer. Oh, that's kind of a good word. I'm looking at Wet Spot. Okay, I saw these right before I did the stream. Jacob said Central Mud Meadow. Okay, I'll have to look that up. Okay, Royal Baddest Bookstar. Are these cool? The photo's not looking that inspiring. Baddest SP Buxar, Buxar. It's kind of looking like a worse version of all the other baddest that I've seen. So I'm not sure about this one. Let's see another video. Baddest SP Buxar. They just kind of look faded. It's not a lot of color going on here. But I'll be honest. Well, this one kind of had some cool striping at the base of the caudal fin on this one. So maybe in the right condition, they look pretty cool. I'm gonna have to pass on that. I don't know. It's no lineatus to me. Red lasers are on sale on Wet Spot. That's interesting. Tank raised from $19 to $17, $2 sale. It's interesting. A lot of rainbows. The Sumatron Red Eye Puffer. I've been kind of interested in these. They say they're super aggressive and whatnot, so I think that's what's been keeping me from it. But then I kind of wonder, like, if anyone's ever had them where they weren't super aggressive or something. But it's like it's like they're bigger than pea puffers, but they're still a small puffer. They do kind of have a killer look to them. Like the red eyes are definitely dangerous looking. I'm trying to see him eat this snail. 'Cause the thing I like about the Congo puffers, they actually like break the snail shell, which kind of, you know, I feel like they do a much better job cleaning up snails. SC says they're like peas. Certain ones can be a pain in the ass. So are they also like peas? We're having more of them. Because with pea puffers, it seems like if you have a group of them, that kind of abates a lot of temperamental issues. But they definitely look cool. Like the eye is almost like a rainbow. Got a rainbow thing to it in some of the angles. Like it does look red, but then it's kind of like the peacock gudgeons kind of have a weird looking eye depending on what angle you look at them at. But I wonder if having them in a group would be better. Mick said, Nick, your reaction on those bass is very common. I believe that will make them remain to be a rare fish to keep. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I think it's cool if you like to collect them, but it didn't really look like much. Ooh, we got a sale on the CW217's Rio Tomo Concolor. Now, I'm waiting to buy. My friend has a couple groups of fry coming up from these. I'm ready to buy them. If you saw Mitchell Broom speak at ACLC, he actually showed a video of them laying eggs. So I think we'll see people having some tank-raised ones in the next couple of months. But they have marked them down the large size from $79.99 to $65.99. So the price on them is indeed coming down a little bit. Nice to see. Essie said on the red eye puffers, more can help, less males. Are they easy to sex like that? But also, I heard on Facebook there's over 20 species of licorice gourami. Yes. If you guys are interested in licorice gourami, and correct me if anyone, you know, has a better source. But my favorite source of information on licorice gouramis is the Paris Forminis Project, however you pronounce it. I find this website to be really, really fantastic. They have a list of the species, the description of the 23 known species. So this is the one that Bomba got, actually. This black and white one with the red tail. And they have a description of the 23 species over here. And they talk about how endangered each one is. They got a photo of each one, the characteristics and stuff. It's really nice. And then they have conservation strategies and stuff like that. I mean, with all these things, you never know like how good an organization actually is, but at least I found the information they put on here to be very useful. So I put the link to that in the chat. If you're interested in licorice gourami, that's been my favorite place to check out for information. Also seeing they got 173B plecos. These are ones that I have. I kind of feel like they might be big enough to have fries soon. I'm not gonna lie, I'm like kind of wondering if they did, because I found one in the tank I took them out of, just one, and I feel like it was one more than I bought. Mick says that is the best website for licorice gouramis in my opinion. Okay. As he said, female red eye puffers have a watermelon pattern and males have a white belly. Let's see, red eye puffer sex scene. I want to visualize this. I want to visualize. So here, this is supposed to be a female. Yep, that definitely does look like a watermelon. When you said it, I was like, I don't know, but okay, the patterning is absolutely clear. So if you're interested in red-eye puffers, they seem very easy to sex. Fantastic. Pea puffers are not that hard to sex when they get bigger, but for me at least, it's difficult when they're smaller. There's a lot of fish on sale on Wet Spot right now. They got the Rio Serrar Cories, Corydoras sorensis. They've had a lot of interesting cories. They took it down from $60 to $45. Guys, I'm not saying 99 anymore for the rest of the stream. I don't know why, but just assume it was 99. I'm rounding up. These do kind of have like a Barbados look to them. They look a little bit better than a lot of the other Corydoras to me. But it's still $45. I need to look better for that. We got Angelicus plecos. Those are on sale from $70 to $53. Oh, sheesh! They got the Titanic Episto, Epistogramma calendari. I regret not getting these from Aquatic Clarity when he had them. This is a pair, a tinted pair, large, 2 to 3 inches, for $250. Now, this is the giant Episto. We've talked about this briefly in a stream before. They get much larger. The normal Epistos, I think, is their main trait. Does look like they can kind of get this yellow and black coloring, at least when they got fry around. Quite honestly, not the most attractive Episto, like, from the majority of pictures you look up at them. Now, when they got this kind of black and yellow thing, which seems to always be, I guess that's the female. That is a pretty cool look. And the male does have some nice looking fins. So for me, the size of them, the look, even if that's just when they're spawning, like I could enjoy having this fish for sure. They kind of look a little different. But if you're just looking for the prettiest Episto ever, I don't know if $250 is worth it. I have Calendari, dark with green shimmer. Oh, you gotta send a picture, man, in the Discord. Beto says, have you heard the common name, the dwarf panda Episto? That's probably talking about Panduro or Nisanai. Right? Yeah. That's usually referring to Epistogramma Panduro or Epistogramma Nisanai. Now, I recently bought a pair of Epistogramma Panduro from the Aquarius Society of Central Maryland meeting. We do a mini swap every meeting, and someone brought multiple pairs of Panduro they had. This is why I bought them, because I bought a pair from Louise that are really pretty. They're doing fantastic. Shout out to Elite Menagerie Habitats. But Mick keeps claiming on stream that they are not Panduro. So I bought Panduro from another source. They got their fish from somewhere else. And I'm going to compare them and their breeding colors and see if Mick is right. And if I see a difference. Just so I want to be able to learn how to tell the difference. Now, this is kind of what I'm thinking is the difference to me is, and I think Mick might be right, but it's really hard to tell. But the Panduro pair that I bought, they definitely look more like this. And this is a picture of Nisanai, and the other pair of Panduro definitely look more like this. But again, I'm going to have to see them both when they're like spawning and stuff. But just so you know, Mick, I bought a pair of Panduro just for you. We're going to see which ones is actually we're going to see if we can get to the bottom, okay? We're going to compare them. I was like, they're at the swap. It was $20 for the pair. I was like, I can do that. I was thinking of you, Mick. Mick said Nisanai got a large blotch on the body / gills. One has a blue tail, I think. Panduro. Yeah, I think Mick might have been right. I'm not gonna lie, because one pair definitely has a lot more blue. But we're gonna find out. We're definitely gonna find out. Okay, this is cool. I'm making my notepad of the fish I like. I'll put the giant Titanic Pistos, but I gotta see if Aquatic Clarity got them in 2, and if it's a different price, if it's a better price, then I would put them on the list. Mitchell Broom said, it's along the lines of Epistogramma Vegeta versus McMasterai. Like 95% of all Vegeta sold are actually McMasterai. So you're saying like most of the Panduro are actually Nisanai? I'll say the one pair I bought of Panduro, the person I bought them from, I feel like would be pretty good at telling these things. And their pair is not as yellow on the female. She don't got the blotch, and there's a lot more blue. But sometimes I look at the other pair and I see the blue too. But yeah, I could be convinced that Mick might be right, but we'll find out. We'll find out. I'm not going to give Mick a win that easily. He's such a know-it-all. I just can't stand it. Now, these are out of stock already, but I did see, I don't know if these might be popping up. They're probably going to pop up in some stores or something. But Corridors Hephaestus was on here, which hasn't been on here since I've been doing these regularly that I can remember. They were $90 each for the extra small. Like, this is an expensive Cory. These are expensive ass Cory. Corridors Hephaestus, yeah. We'll see if they pop up anywhere else, but I don't know. CW2220? Which one is that? Let's see. And I did see, Mitch said, Kalendario, I might still need to get it sometime, list of Epistos, but I'm positive I can talk to some of my old Epistle friends and find them cheaper than that. Yeah, that's the thing. He also said there are 4 billion CW217 fry out there. Turns out they're pretty easy to breed, and I have great hatch rates with them. That's awesome. I mean, what, do you think they'll be like the new large panda Cory or something? Like, not too expensive, but look very nice, and everyone likes them? Like, okay, this says newly discovered Cory, CW220, Brocus SP. This person's advertised he had them for $35 each. He posted this 3 days ago in the Greater Chicago Association forum. Interesting. Yellow Malini Cory. That's the name they're going with for 220. Is this indeed a new Cory, actually? Okay. I see a video a month ago saying, okay. So along with the con color, this person's listing CW218 as a new Cory in the Corridors news. Okay, we got 219. And then yeah, the 220. They do have a nice yellow tinge to them. Like they got the long snout, top of their head's kind of yellow. Their fins are kind of yellow. I could see really good conditioned ones kind of being cool, a little bit more interesting than some of the other black stripe, one black stripe Corys. Oh, shout out Johnny Best. Thank you, Johnny Best. Thank you very much for that. $5 from Johnny Best. Appreciate you, my friend. If you didn't know, Johnny Best single-handedly funds like all of Fish live streamers. I don't know how he does it, so W Johnny Best, thank you very much for the $5. Embroom said a colored up CW220 is nice looking, but it's a Brocus, so it's going to be a pain to breed. Okay, yeah, but that could mean that if you breed them, it's worth it for the money you can charge. We need Mitch to stop having morals. Mitch, look, I know you're doing good in life, so you don't have to scam people, but come on, man. You seen the Aqua bid, the bidding wars for the Hephaestus and stuff? Like, you got to have a couple of crooked spined rare Corys somewhere you can scam some people. Come on, man. Loosen up a little. Yeah, W Johnny's in the chat. Thank you very much. Mix that. Czech breeder in Europe sells 2 different Nisanais. One got a collection code, other is codeless aquarium strain. Beto says woodcats look cool. Just yeah, you don't see them very much. Now this is a cool pisto. It's just very expensive. We got the Axelrodi, the CW169 on sale too. Oh, those are out of stock. Okay. So some decent fish coming in here from the wet spot, but not too crazy. Let me real quickly check aquatic clarity just to see what Epistos. We still got the Titan Episto. Let me see. Yep, he's got it, and it's the exact same price. Wild caught Brazil, 250 a pair. Oh, he updated this 3/7/2026. I don't know if I've looked at this since then. So he's got in the Crosses Maculatus. That's a cool one. Yep. He's got the Compressiceps Pike. Publicochromis Crebensis Tahani. Nice. Kinky. Cool. Lacune. Haven't seen that. Locale Cribs. That's kind of nice. Coffee Bean Tetra. Hyphistobricon Takesy. Kind of like got some orange on the fins, a little bit black on the dorsal with a little orange next to it, and a splotch on the side, a black splotch on the side. Nanostormus. Oh, that's the coral red pencil fish. Yeah. Strawberry. Okay, Danio marginatus. Okay, CPDs, jelly bean tetras, ruby rasboras. Nothing too crazy. Parata cinclus corensis. He put great algae eater next to it. I do love these fish. I have 2 of them I got from Louise. They're very cute. I very much recommend them. What else? Pistogramma Upesi Red Wedge, $35 each. Oh, we looked at this with Mitch one stream. Yeah, these guys got some really cool fins. 35 each. Kind of wish you could sex them for that amount, but hey, you get a couple of them for the price of one pair of the big ones, and they kind of look cooler. So I'm kind of with it. Mitch, if you see a good image of them, CW220 can get a yellow color to its size. Okay. Imprune said, Aquatic Clarity usually has a good listing, has a good rep, but I've always had such a hard time getting him to respond that I've never actually gotten anything from. You can always try, sometimes with those people, you can just try commenting on Facebook. That seems to work, but I definitely understand. Like, I've only gotten fish from him in group buys because I don't want to have to deal with the ordering process. And it's similar to Jimco. I love Jimco, and I've gotten stuff from them many times. I have never myself made the order, and I probably never will because I'm just not going to email someone to order stuff for the most part. Like, I might email, like, there's someone I've been meaning to email. He has the kind of lamp-eye killifish that I've been looking for, but I haven't gotten around to emailing him just because I'm not quite ready. But he has one of the lamp eyes that I've been looking for. That's an example of something I'd email. Yeah, he does usually have a cool list though. Him and Rehoboth Aquatics and Aquatic Clarity, there's a lot of crossover, and their list is usually pretty close. I feel like Rehoboth tends to bring in more killifish, but I don't know. You can see where my priorities are at. All right, let's see if Louise brought anything in cool recently. Mixed at large auction in April again here. Lots of Corys. Oh, nice, very nice. Let's see. Green Neon Tetra, Scarlet Gem Bass. Yeah, at least the Scarlet Gem Bass. Scarlet. That's not just the Dario. So. Let's see, common names. No, that is? Okay. I thought there was another one that was a Gem Baddis that was kind of red. I know there's another red Baddis. Maybe I'm crazy. Got albino Ranchovy pairs, nice. Some spotted Congo Tetras, nice. Micro Bumblebee Goby and Bumblebee Goby. Huh. What's the difference? Let's look at the Latin names here. We got Brachygobia CF Nanus. Is that different than the Bumblebee Goby? Let me see. B. Nanus, quite rare in the aquarium trade. Okay. How big? 20 to 25 millimeters. So it's a species of bumblebee goby. Okay, wet spot has it listed as micro bumblebee goby. If I just look up bumblebee goby, what is their Latin name? I mean, it seems obvious that they're, yeah, Brachygobius xanthozonus. Huh. Okay. An extra small bumblebee goby. That's kind of cool. I'll put that in my speculative list. Micro bumblebee goby, Brachygobius cf nanus. It's kind of interesting. Beto, we need to start a woodcat GoFundMe for you. That's funny. Get Beto a woodcat. I mean, isn't he just... all that's holding him back is the fact that he wants to be able to see them. Ooh, yellow Hellboy placket beta. That kind of looks cool. I like the name too, Hellboy. Flametail peacock. One second. Let me check one thing. Bren bought me the Dorsegera I ordered the other day. Oh, nice. How do you feel about your fish situation, Mick? What fish are you missing? What fish are you missing? LOL. Give me 1 second. I'm texting Ross. Whew. I got them yesterday. I know what fish that is. Why am I blanking on the fish that is? Yes, the Akara. Yes, the Letacar. Yes, you've talked about these. The red breast Akara. How do they look? Do they look like the pictures? I need you to post some pictures of them if they look like this, Mick. Imbroom says, if you're gonna make crazy days with fish colors, I think the beta people did a better job than guppy people. Theirs sound way more cool. I agree. Some of the beta names really do actually, they kind of hit. I'm not gonna lie. Like the Hellboy, like that's a fantastic name. They actually go outside of the food names. Now, I've been a big proponent of food names. I think food names are a great way to sell stuff like just blueberry tetra, you know, cherry shrimp. It is a tried and true method, but if you can somehow go outside of that and the name makes sense, like I think like the red Hellboy placket, yellow Hellboy placket, that kind of is nice to me. Hellboy is kind of nice. I like that. This is a little controversial. I don't know. Mustard gas half moon beta, like we got war crimes in beta form, but like, it's still it's an interesting name. Now mustard, that's technically like a food, right? So I don't know, but we're on the edge. We're on the cutting edge. Got a Western and Gat Hill Stream Loach. Okay, that's interesting. Koi beta, koi placa beta, super giant koi short fin placa. See, this is where we get into the beta territory where I'm like, the name, there's too many characteristics that I gotta keep track of. Super giant koi short fin placket beta. I don't even remember what placket means anymore. So, blue marble half moon that looks very nice. Some of these domestics look nice. Blue rim snow white placket beta female. We need more weapon names. We got the sword and knives going. Ooh. Well, come on, black samurai placket. It's simple, samurai and a color. That works. That works for me. Why not? Red claw gold spotted crab. Well, she got some yellow Amano shrimp in. I need some of those one day. We got shrimp. We got snails. Holy. The water onion is in. Alright, let's see what else can we get into. Red claw, gold spotted crab. I don't think I'm ready for crabs, I'll be honest. Let's see, aqua imports. What we got? What we got going on here? Holy. Okay, we got Malabar spiny eel, Macrognathus CF Guntheri, adult size 11 inches. Well, on to the next. Pistogramma borellii, okay. Some catfish, blue dragon mud skipper. Oh, Aqua Imports got the mud skippers in. Let's go. Buliophthalmus bedardi. Mud skippers are kind of cool, man. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, ever since I found out they're actually fish, you know, I'm way more open to it. Pygmy talking catfish, bro. A catfish that talks back. I think not. I absolutely think not. Joy, what's up, Jose? How's it going? So, Joy of Fish Keeping saying, "Hey Nick, what's up?" Wait, why are you punching me? 1 second. What did I do wrong? Wait, I got your towel right over here. 1 second. Let me grab it. He said clap, 2 clap emojis, a fist emoji, and a thumbs up. He's thumbs upping punching me. That's what I'm getting out of that. Honestly, bro, I think barbs are so slept on. Even some of these, like these jade barbs and stuff. I don't know. There's so many barbs that look fantastic to me. Jose said that's a fist bump. Okay, if you say so. I thought maybe Mexicali sent you to do a hit on me, you know. All right, let's see. Has Aquahuna put anything in the new arrival? It's been just goldfish for a while. No, there's not too much new. Not too much new, unfortunately. Damn. Guys, you gotta bring in new fish. I did see a video, though, someone like... This was actually a fantastic clickbait. Did Aquahuna review scam or not? It was something like... The title was something like... Did this place just scam me? Or not? And then it was a positive review. And I was kind of like, yo. And it did well. Yeah, here we go. Ben Ochart. I'll link the video in the description. Were these tropical fish a ripoff or a great value? That's a good clickbait title right there. And then the review was actually positive. Damn, that Episto does actually look really nice. I'm not gonna lie. Shout out. There's a lot of good positive comments on that. I ordered from Aquahuna 4 times. They're in Washington. I'm in Pennsylvania. Couldn't be happier with what I have received of the fish Hound BDA. Yep. I love Aquahuna. All right, next. Let's see. What can I check next? My brain is so fried. I'm so out of shape when it comes to looking up fish. I'm forgetting all the website names. Let me go to... I know Aquatic Arts ain't going to have anything. Let me go. Let's see. Let's see. New arrivals. Dojo Loach. Perfect for my 10-gallon, right? Golden Dojo Loach. Well, the golden ones I would probably put in a 5-gallon, right? Impossible aquariums. Come on. We got the blueprint. Triple red cockatoo dwarf cichlid. Okay. What you see, what you get. Bettas. Diamond tetra. Green betta macanensis. Watermelon tetra. Where's the watermelon colors on these, bro? Hyphosabricon SC Corellian. Where's the watermelon? I am not seeing it. I need a... Maybe this is one I need a video to see. Joy Fishkeeping said, cool, I recommend Aquahuna to him. He said, check it out. I have overall had a positive experience. Yep. Aquahuna has a live stream better well. I think that's nifty. Whatever, I think Aquahuna is they're on the way up. I'm not gonna lie. I think they can rehab what little what reputational damage they seem to have. They have a good infrastructure to do it. They got someone that seems alive on their social media, so oh sheesh, what is going on? We got a $4.99 donation from, hold up, Joy of Fish Keeping. Let's go. Yo, this stream is sponsored by Johnny Best and Joy of Fish Keeping. I got the embroidered fish room towel with metal This ain't even this ain't even for sale. This is just this is just something Jose gives the people that he likes, I guess, or maybe that he hates. I guess it could be either, but I'm gonna go with the positive interpretation. Thank you very much, W Jose in the chat. Thank you very much. Listen, you guys keep donating like this. I might not take any breaks again. You know what I mean? I'm joking. Damn. Got a certified towel. Let's go. Let's go. Beto said, I wonder why mud skippers aren't more popular. Mitchell said, brackish. People are scared of doing brackish water. I agree. I mean, that's what's keeping me from a lot of fish, although I'm starting to not let that bother me as much. So I do think some brackish stuff is in my future. Right now, I'm still in... So I was having this talk because Jessica was like, have you thought about downsizing? And I'm like, downsizing sounds so negative. Realistically, I'm not really going to downsize in a way. But when I'm talking about reducing species, it's not as much about getting rid of the amount of tanks. It's about getting rid of the amount of species so I can focus. And I think that's kind of downsizing, but this is my spin, okay? I'm not calling it downsizing. I'm calling it simplifying. Okay, so I'm in the process of simplifying my fish room. And I think once that process is complete, I've gotten rid of some stuff, cleared up some space, optimized some things, then I'll be able to think again about adding some new species. And I believe brackish would probably start to come into the equation at that point. Now, another thing about mud skippers, they're brackish, but I feel like they kind of require a specialized tank setup. You know what I mean? I think that's another thing. People kind of like, fish that you can fit into multiple different stuff. Now, I'm not gonna lie, mud skipper tank like this, where maybe if you can keep other stuff with them somehow, but then again, I'm kind of trying to keep more species only tanks, so maybe that'd be nice. I might actually get dart frogs before I get mud skippers. I ain't gonna lie. I've been kind of dart frog curious, and I've been getting more into the paludarium terrarium side. But I think people are scared of brackish water. As I've talked to more people like Mitch and people that do brackish, I've definitely become less scared of it. So then it's more just, all right, but like, what does a brackish tank that I enjoy look like? Because I think mud skippers are cool, and this aquarium's kind of cool. I'm not saying all mud skipper tanks have to look like this necessarily, but when I think of the mud skipper tanks, it usually is like a shallow, flat thing with some sand and some water at one end. And bro, they're really cool. Honestly, I take back everything I said. This is honestly fantastic. Where, yeah, I just need to turn one of my low boys into a mud skipper tank. All right, I'm glad we had this talk. I mean, just look at that face. It's worth it. I'll give it all up for him. I'll give it all up. Speaking of, well, wait, Broom said, the funny thing is brackish fish are crazy resilient. They have to handle changes in salinity as tides change. Also, thank you everyone for putting W Jose in the chat. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I have some news. 186 said, can brackish tanks turn into swamp tanks? Oh my god, you guys. You guys. So I had some news. A while ago, I was gonna do a video every month. I was gonna at least post 2 videos, sorry. I haven't quite lived up to that. There's been a lot going on, but I've actually gotten a lot done video-wise. There's going to be regular videos at least for the next 2 months. Guaranteed. I'm serious, guaranteed. Not only have I been processing stuff I filmed a long time ago, finally. Like, I finally made some of those shorts for like Louise. I finally edited through some of the Ross thing, the Jesse thing. So I'm working through it. And what I'm gonna do for some of the fish room tours and some of the longer videos, I've edited down like topic specific videos, like 10 minutes long. I'm gonna do a couple of those first before the longer ones. But basically, I'm gonna be posting regularly. I promise, for like the next month or so. So right after this stream, I'm probably gonna make live a video from my Ross Baltimore trip. where he's talking about breeding African cichlids. And I'm gonna post a few videos from that, and eventually we'll do the whole thing. But basically, I just want to let you guys know we will be not only when I'm not streaming am I not just ignoring you guys. I have been working on other things. I've actually filmed a couple of other tours and stuff in the last few weeks that eventually you'll see. So I've been working on things, but it's just a process. I have a lot of flaws. One of them is finishing things in a timely manner, and it's been a lifelong battle. We're making some progress though, okay? We're making some progress. Holy. So some videos to come. I think it'll be fun, and I appreciate you guys for the patience. Joy Fishkeeping said, had to look up the emoji. It means either punch or fist bump. I thought, let me look it up. I just scheduled this video for Ross to premiere, so let's go. Okay. That's gonna probably go live right after the stream's over. So when the stream's over, check out the video with me and Ross. It's gonna go live at 8 p.m. Breeding out fancy African cichlids, and I do part 1 because there's gonna be a few videos from this, and you can see the thumbnail. It's a very pretty fish called the burra. If you know, you know. All right, any other fish that I can look up in the last second? Let's see. JP said hardest working. Yes, sir. Let's go. Let's go. Anything else to look up? Anything else, guys? Any videos? Any other streams? Anything coming up to promote? I'm wrapping up the stream, but if there's anything I should shout out, I know there's a fish Jacob asked me to look up. The central mud minnow. Let me look that up real quick. Now, I'll be honest, when you said the central mud minnow, I wasn't expecting much color. There's actually a little bit more color. There's a little bit of red on here. A small fish in the family Umbridae in the order of Esociforms. Let's see. I want to see a video of them. I'm starting to only really want to see videos of these fish, because I feel like you can see a lot more about how they actually look when they like move and the light catches them. This looks like a pretty big minnow thing. Like, look, got a sizable mouth. Pause. When I think of minnows, I usually think of super small stuff. Let's see how big this is. Good. Alaska says Sumatra is the world's 6th largest island located in West Indonesia. Okay. Bama said they had some at London Town, 70 each. Wait, what did they have at London Town that I missed? I'm kind of going back, seeing some stuff I missed to respond to. Forgive me if I didn't comment the past 10 minutes out of a phone call. I forgive you, but you're good. You're totally good. Couple fish said, go through the pics people posted in the pics chat last stream. Oh, the rating tank stuff, the pics. Yes, we're gonna go through those, but I'm gonna do a stream with that. JP posted some incredible photos. I want to dedicate. That's probably gonna be the next stream. Honestly, I wanna look at some of your guys' tanks. We'll do a tank rating thing like we did before. There's a lot of cool pictures. JP posted a bunch. Some people posted a bunch. Please post more in the photos channel. We'll go through them. If you're around a couple of fish, you should come on and go through them with us too. Dwarfs the Kidliot said, damn, I missed 2 hours already. Come on, bro, you're coming in at the end. What's going on? These mud minnows though, they're cool, as in like I appreciate them. But man, you know what? They kind of look cooler out of water. Like I said, they kind of look too big though. They kind of look too big to be this ugly in my aquarium. I'm not. No offense. No offense. But see, at least the Fundulus cingulatus 3 Mile Creek, like they kind of look nice, but they are big. But they look, they got a lot of color to them. They're very red. You know what I mean? I need a bit more. No problem if you missed the first few guys. No problem. Embroom said, that's why I make labels for bags when I sell fish. That's a QR code that links to a video of the fish. I suck at taking pictures, but I sort of do okay with video. That's a good idea. I need to incorporate that. I do. I got some more Priscilla Obscura from my friend. Yo, if anyone has heard from Christopher Junkin, a while ago, and I need to text him, but I've texted him a few times. He's not responded in a while. But a while ago, he was asking me to pick up some Ginga Sapphirus so I could send some to his friend. And at the last meeting, a guy dropped off some of them for him. So I don't know if he still wants them, but yo, if anyone hears from Chris, let him know I got some Ginga Sapphirus. Maybe if he's interested. I don't really know much about this guppy. They look cool. I don't know if it's like a... Oh my gosh. Fishery made a video from like 4 years ago about them. What's up, D1? How's it going? What's up? What's good? What's good? I love wild type live bears. Silly Obscure. That's what I'm supposed to be looking up. Trinidad guppy. This fish forum post. I was reading up on this fish. It seems it's just a guppy. Am I missing something? Okay. Shit. I kind of like the Santa Maria endlers because I like the contrast. That's what these are, right? Santa. But you guys know I'm not a huge live bear person. Also, all the guppies I have, I've been like failing at reproducing them in mass. I probably need to switch something up. I think all the fry are getting eaten. Ross said, why you do Alex like that? I didn't do Alex like anything. Been waiting on the streamer to reply for a month. The life is good, so don't replace. I'm sorry, bro. I told you. I need to figure out. I've never got accepted money through Walmart before, so it's like a mental block. Like I'm trying to get to it, but I'm kind of incompetent. So my apologies. My apologies. I'll try and set that up in within the next 24 hours. And if I don't, come in the next stream chat and just shame me. Everyone in the chat will cancel me. All right. Just remind me by next stream. Everyone ask me if I responded to D1 Fish Guy, okay? I'll put myself out there. George Security, it said on it? Okay. Well, sounds like I'm in the hot seat now, so. Let's go. Okay. Any events, anything else, any videos? This is going to be the first of, I won't say many, but the first of few. So the one club that I'm on the board of, the Aquarius Society of Central Maryland, we're having our first auction on April 19th. And I'm putting the link to this in the chat. I need you guys to give me feedback. So this is the first auction I'm not in charge of, but I'm part of organizing. We've gone over auctions a lot on the stream. Now, the thing is how the auction is run is not really up to me. It actually was a pretty, we voted on a lot of stuff. There were some things I was like, I don't like that, but I was outvoted. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. I would love feedback on you guys reading the rules, the setup, but if you happen to be in the DMV area, the Baltimore, Maryland area, we're having our first auction April 19th. And a couple of interesting things. So this is what we're going for the split. So there's a $2 listing fee for all lots. Members have a 0% club split. So basically it's a $2 fee to list items, and then after that there's no cut that the club gets from it. That's for members. For non-members, it's a 30% club split plus the $2 listing fee. So it's a little bit of the membership incentive, yet 30% is the cut of a lot of clubs, minus the listing fee. So it's not the worst for non-members, but basically if you have high dollar or higher dollar items, in theory, the flat $2 listing fee should leave you with a lot more money than if it was a percentage. That's the thought. So how the board kind of came up with it was we have our cost for renting the space, the $2 listing fee. Once we reach a certain amount of lots, it kind of covers that, and then we don't need any more than that. plus if anyone buys any memberships and the raffles, etc. So it's kind of designed to try and just make as much needed to cover the event. We'll see how it works. It's kind of, again, it's the first auction. We'll see what the setup does. But if you guys read through the rules and stuff, let me know if you have any feedback. I think we set the lot of single species, like repeat species, to 3. Yeah. I think we're doing a tag sale for dry goods. PVAS does that. I think we're doing a tag sale. But I'm going to try and put a bunch of stuff in here. We've listed a few things in here. I feel like the earlier you do it, it's kind of nice for promoting stuff. So if you are interested in coming, I encourage you to list stuff as soon as you can, just so people can see it and plan accordingly. Essie says, what if something sells for $1? The minimum at most auctions is $2, including ours, so nothing should be selling for $1. George Seciliate said, managed to snag some Aphanius Minto based on a stream a couple weeks ago. Oh, nice. How you liking them? He said they're feisty little shits, Mick. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Ross Baltimore said, "She." Let me know what's that reaction to. So you know my thing with auctions. I've been saying I feel like the cut has been too high. Now I still wanted to do a flat percentage rate. I wanted to do a 15% for members or a 10%, but basically the conversation was, look, if we have this many lots and we just do the flat fee, not only will people get more money than if we did the percent, it'll also discourage people to bring things that will only sell for $2. So part of the thinking to what if something sells for $1? This is the thinking. I don't know if I agree that it's true, but the thinking is if there's a $2 flat fee, what it's going to do is ensure that once we reach a certain amount of lots, the space is paid for, right? Or at least we have a more predictable amount of money that's not relying on percentages. Then the other thing is that ideally a $2 flat fee will discourage people from bringing things that are going to just sell for $2. Because basically, if it is a lower dollar thing, I don't like with the flat fee. I don't like the fact that if something sells low, then now you're basically getting, like, I don't know, like if it sells for $4, that's a 50% cut. But the whole point is to discourage people from bringing things that are kind of just like filler lots. So we'll see how that works. I don't know, but that's what everyone voted on. Ross Baltimore said 30% is pimping. Yeah, 30% for non-members is pretty decent. Plus the $2 fee. Realistically, I feel like it's kind of like a membership drive. That's why there's a difference between member and non-member sales. But with the $2 flat fee, if you did have like a nice lot, you probably could, more quickly make up the cost. But yeah, I'm always looking for feedback. We had a lot of fun making these rules. Like, there was a couple documents, there was a couple Discord sessions, a couple voting on stuff. I don't think we're gonna be able to pay people the day of this auction. That'll definitely be a goal for a future auction, but we're saying that we're gonna get checks to people within a week. So that's the timeline. We're saying we accept credit cards and debit cards and PayPal and all that. So yeah, come on through. Ross Baltimore, come on. Come through with some nice fish, Ross. Get to listing right now. April 19th. That's my pitch. We'll check back in a week or two, and I'll see if I can tempt you guys to go one more time. But all right. Anything else I'm missing? I think that's kind of all I got. Please, replay crew, I appreciate you. The lurkers, I appreciate you. If you have any thoughts, comments, feedback, comment as many times as you want, as if you're in the chat the whole time. I love it when people do that. Leave a comment. Go to the auction page. Go to the Facebook. Let me know what you think of the setup there. Mick said, Corey's on our auction over here. Panda, Similis, CW217, Pygmaeus, Aspidorus, Basilius, Kanaki, CW037, and CW111. Ooh, see, those very fancy Corys on your auction over there. Very fancy Corys. But okay, I'm going to pop out in 13 minutes, a kind of short video with Ross talking about breeding fancy African cichlids. Ross Baltimore in the chat, shout out to him, is going to be going live. Love for you guys to check that out. And look forward to a lot more stuff in the future from me. And Mix says also red, green, and yellow lasers. So Mix got the Corey auction going on. Very nice. Shout out to Ross holding in the chat. Mick holding in the chat. JP Jeffries, thanks for the stream, Nick. Appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with me. Got my little rat aunt. Mick, of course. Appreciate you. D1 Fish Guy, I'm going to hit you. 186 Element. Shout out for you in the chat, trolling me as always. Appreciate that. Mexicali, you were in the chat trolling me too. My biggest troll. Appreciate you, my friend. Pond Puppies. A couple of fish. AI Fish Keeper. Yo. Yo, why are Possible Aquariums coming on his alt account with the AI Fish Keeper? Jose, thank you very much for the 5, Jose. Thank you for coming through. I get it. It was a fist bump emoji. You were trying to punch me, okay. Mitchell Broom, of course. Which one you want to? Which thing do you want to link for? D1 Fish Guy. The video link I did pin for Ross that's coming up. Bomba in the chat a lot, bro. What happened? Usually he's on a TV. I don't know how he just learned how to chat. Mitchell Broom, thank you for being in the chat. Always pinning some insights, pistos, Corys, all sorts of rare fish. Appreciate you. Beto, thank you for coming through, of course. Okay, he's got the swamp tanks on deck. Trust me. That's joking. SC, thank you SC for coming through. Something Fishy Alaska. Thank you, my friend, for stopping by, hanging out in the chat. Jacob, of course. Hope studies are going well. 6handle343. My apologies. You're not skeptical. My apologies. Appreciate you hanging out in the chat. Hope the rainbows don't eat your shrimp. Holy. Into the future. Appreciate you coming in the chat. You know, the scramble suits, the dark future you're painting for us with the AI realizations. Jeff Kane stopping by. Appreciate you, my friend. The one fish tuber that does make me think, should I grow a beard? I don't know. Probably not. Fishcapades coming through, of course. I think Cam Jam was in here. Was she not? I think Cam Jam was in here. Anyway, stopping by. And anyone else I missed? Sorry, just scrolling up and off of memory. And Broom says CWO37 I've not seen available. Need to look that up. Oh, you had to fly out to Sweden. I had to fly out. Pond Puppies, of course. Thank you for stopping by. And with that being said, I think we've done our job here. I'll be in the premiere chat for the Ross Baltimore video. I appreciate you guys coming through. Again, leave all the feedback. Let me know if I did anything dumb this stream. And I will see you next time. This has been In My Tanks. Really? Really? Did you really watch this whole live stream? At 4 a.m.? Gosh darn it, Mick. You need more rest. This has been In My Tanks. And I am out.